Today, I am putting 11 of the best Wonder Kids in Football Manager on one team in non-league. This will make them super powerful, and let's see how they use them. So here you can see we have 11 of the best Football Manager Wonder Kids on each different position, and they're all playing for Wrexham, who start out in the National League. They all have transfers arranged to PSG many years in the future, which should give them a lot of time to play out this season. So let's go a year in the future and see how it goes. So looking at the schedule, they won almost every game they played. Here we can see a tie against Notts County was one of their only ties of the season. They lost one game against Burnley in the FA Cup third round. And for context, Burnley is in the Premier League right now by the time of this save. So they got promoted last season. So they also tied Maidenhead in the FA Trophy fourth round. That's a more disappointing result. Although maybe since it was buffered by the Burnley games, they were not actually playing a full team here. If we look here, yeah, this is obviously not the full team. Looks like this is mostly backup players when compared to the Burnley squad, which makes sense. And they did end up winning the FA Trophy, and of course they won the league. So now they are here in League 2, and I expect big things from them this season. They should probably be winning the league and getting automatic promotion again. So here we are, obviously they got promoted. They only lost one game against AFC Wimbledon the whole season. 125 points is insane, and they scored 108 goals. That is insanely impressive. Obviously, they've kept all of their really great players. A lot of players have been released here. They actually brought in a surprising amount of loanees for last season, which is interesting. I'm surprised that they need these players, considering I'm assuming, most of these players played all of last season, so I'm not sure where all the loanees were going. And they also sold a lot of players, including players that they signed for way more than they sold and were paying a lot more, like Mullen, like Ollie Palmer, and more. Sorry, but I think Haaland can take your position. So alright, let's go another year in the future and see what happened. We've actually gone a little bit further into the future because that should have given them time to play in the Premier League. Yes. So last season would have been their first season in the Premier League, and they came in 10th, which is pretty impressive for a newly promoted team that I'm assuming did the rest of it all by automatic promotion. Yeah. So, you know what? That's pretty good. In there, they won the Papa John's Trophy as well as the FA Trophy. No FA Cup, though we'll give them some time. Phil Parkinson's been there the whole time. He's won 75% of their games, which, fair enough. Wonder how long he'll stick around, though. They've still got a lot of fantastic players, but they've brought in other people as well, including a new goalkeeper, new left back, wing back, and some surprising people like I see Bellingham here on the bench. That really confuses me. And you can see the huge disparity in wages here between people like Tyrek, who obviously came in later on £3.25 million. Yeah, it came in while they were in the Premier League, versus all the players we brought in on £6,000 a year. Their best 11 is mostly made up of Wonder Kids that we brought in for them, but not completely surprisingly. We didn't bring in this Callum Doyle, but everyone else I think is. Finances have been looking pretty good. Obviously the low wage costs are probably helping that, and all of that Prem money coming in right there. So that's pretty useful. Projections only going up, much bigger sponsorships than before. Though there's still some small ones that I assume were signed a long time ago, like this £5,000 per season training kit sponsor. And yeah, they look like they're pretty well set up to keep doing quite well with some great players. They're expected to finish in the top half, reach the 5th round of the FA Cup, and the 4th half of the Carabao Cup. So let's see how they do with all of their expectations. They'll probably do quite well. Let's go all the way into the future and see what happened. Alright, here we are at Wrexham, probably a whole new team here because people like Haaland are now 48. So he's not going to be as good anymore, but some of these stats are still quite good. Although his 2 agility and 5 acceleration, 3 pace, and 1 strength are definitely hurting him now. They have been in the Premier League for a little while. They've started dropping off as the players have gotten older, which makes sense. They'll need to start signing some people. And since we last left them, they have won some new trophies. They won the Carabao Cup twice, they won the European Super Cup, and they won the Euro Cup, which is essentially the Europa League. So winning that 3 times is pretty impressive. Obviously, a lot of these original players we brought in are probably not even registered. Oh, but Haaland still is, so that's something. Still think he may have time to play. He hasn't been playing for a while, as you can see, at least not actively. A lot of these are probably sub-appearances in non-competitive games, yeah. I wonder, after all that, how long Phil Parkinson stuck around. Oh, he left pretty soon after we checked in with him. Alright, yeah. Well, he didn't get to see them for the glory days. Eric Ten Hag apparently signed with them for a while. Anyone else he Recognize Zinedine Zidane was there for some reason. I guess they had a bunch of great players and they had a lot of money, so why not? Disappointing that they never won the Premier League, and their finances are honestly sort of in a pretty terrible state here. Spending £134 million a season on wages, and they might have some financial problems coming out. But ignoring the rest of that, they've been incredibly successful during this competition, and they did actually do some testimonials later on after these players started retiring, so that's pretty fun. You got 4 testimonials here all in a year, so I guess a lot of players finished off around 2034, which is still a long time. That's putting a bunch of them around like the 31, 32 age mark. We're going to probably see more of these. Yeah, Haaland's testimonial there. So yeah, they've done a good job. So thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see when I put Messi and Ronaldo in non-league and see how that did stuff, then click the video on screen right now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.